Call them in order, call them. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For a motion to approve the agenda for the day. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion second, and for discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Make a motion to approve the minutes for March 17th.
Second that. Motion and second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meetings attended.
Last week we had a safety meeting. And then a department head meeting. Some of the department head meetings centered around our closing of the offices procedure, and the department heads want to know how all that worked. And normally the chair kind of takes care of that, and you did this last one. We kind of put it in charge of the department heads themselves, like Leah at the public health. They do almost all their driving. And of course, the roads weren't conducive for that. As her chairperson on her board, she called me that morning and we both agreed that wouldn't be right. So in particular, like the courthouse, if for some reason Susan wanted to be open, but the treasurer couldn't, the courthouse could still be open. So we kind of left that up to department heads to use their brains and what they thought was best. And it was kind of a, well, how's this work? Well, if the department heads themselves are closing, they're either going to have to use vacation time or comp time if they want to fill in. If it's the county's decision to close, then I think it was agreed upon that they would still get paid. So if it was our decision to close everything down, first the roads department wouldn't be, and the sheriff would still be open. But I think that's kind of how they thought it should be handled. So that's where we left that. We had a complex meeting yesterday. Checked the LP. We're just a bit above 50%, and we weren't sure. You were kind of handling that. We weren't sure if we got our second batch or not.
I believe, yeah, they would have, it was under 31
Okay.
there, and can't remember when that was. By call and order, if it's about 50.
Yeah, we should be plenty good. We're still experiencing heater or boiler issues, not necessarily boiler issues. It's the controller part. I thought, and Jacob's not here, I thought he'd done some research on that. I'm going to contact him and talk to him about it, but the boilers are pretty new, but when they go bad, they default to open. So the kitchen goes to like 90 degrees. Is bad, but it could be worse, you know. So we're going to work on that. I'm not sure if you guys were here when we had a water line break in winter of 24, probably not. We had a water line break. There was a charge line that ran from the water plant, for lack of a better word, up to the old water tower. But the water tower is not used. It was capped at the bottom, but somewhere in that line it broke and we had water everywhere. They dug down and capped that bad point, but McCleary's was going to come back and go clear back to the building, cap it there so we didn't have any other third issues. Don't know that that's done. Drafting a email to them to follow up with that. And they were also supposed to change the filter media to help with our dishwasher issue. And I don't think that got done. So we're going to get an email there today and find out what's going on. There's a solar panel that come loose in the wind. I don't think that's been repaired yet. An email has been sent off to the solar people last Friday. I'm telling them that, and also inquiring on our billing issues and what's going on. Haven't heard yet. The next step is to actually physically call him, say, hey, where are you at? So that's kind of where we're at on that deal. That's all I had.
I had the budget hearing last night. No meetings, did have we put a new tarp on the trailer out at the transfer station and it got ripped, so I went out last week and we removed that, me and my son removed that, took it to Donnie Harden to get it fixed, so that trailer's kind of out of commission till that's done, but that basically was it.
Well, we had a community action meeting last week. It's pretty much business as usual there. Then we had the public hearing for the assessors meeting, which.
Well,
Well, I thought it went well.
Yeah.
There was plenty of questions
Yeah.
about our tax rate and
Yeah.
we explained them the best way we could and they accepted it. One was still opposed,
Yeah.
but we understood that. So
And
I think it went well.
had an early childhood development meeting. They're still kind of in limbo on where legislation's gonna fall. Whether it's looking like now the state is wants to take over the home visitation part of it and leave some of the rest of it for them. It's kind of a mess, but,
We've been talking about that for years.
yeah,
I don't-
so,
They're gonna do something, just do it,
yeah.
you know?
And I think that was it last week. Reports to the meeting last night, but,
Yeah.
okay. Any public input for items for next week's agenda?
I have a question about next week. Do you have a meeting next week? Because in the past, when there's been 5 Tuesdays, you've only had 4 meetings. Will there be a meeting next week?
Yes,
There will be.
Well,
Okay, why did you only have 4 some months?
because there was nothing on the agenda,
Okay.
that's one, but there's stuff already on the agenda for next week.
And I wasn't able to make the meeting last night because of family obligations, but do you anticipate a tax increase next year also?
Don't know at this point. Don't know what. the
I
budget will
always
be.
look ahead of things, and I was just curious to know if you anticipate something next year.
Probably a couple bucks.
uh,
Very
Yeah, it depends on whether we still have to follow that House 78 or not. If it's in place until they repeal it.
Right.
So if they don't get it repealed, then we're gonna have some reducing to do, so.
You thought there was gonna be discussion anymore on the old jail building?
I haven't, who was gonna check into some bids on what it costs to
Knock it down.
take that down? Is that-
Well, I talked to Adam
Yeah.
previously, but that wasn't really a solid bid, was it? Just kind of a,
The company out of Muscatine I talked to had bid it in the past. And I forget what the number was, I can bring it to the board next week, or if you'd like to give me a call, I just don't recall what it was, so.
Check with that guy over Morning Sun, turned down that.
Why don't you bring it just so we can have some conversation?
Okay, sounds good.
I have one thing for public. It's, I guess technically public. And it's not on the agenda, but I'd like to put it on the next agenda. We brought it up last night. I'd like to have some conversation on perhaps moving our meetings to the evening. I think that would give better opportunity for people that work during the day that want to address the board. And if we do that, maybe move to 2 meetings a month instead of 4. And I also would like to see maybe Adam having to report every week. And I love seeing you, but you know, if you just want to come in like a normal department head guy and report once a month, I would be okay with that. I don't need to hear him spreading rock every week. No offense, no offense. If there's an emergency, you're more than welcome to come in.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I just think it's kind of a waste of his time. He's got other things to do too. So I'd like to put that on the next agenda and then have discussion about that and see if there's something we can.
Can you discuss just a little, are you thinking two times a month.
Yeah, first and third, because that would be our claim points where we have to approve bills.
And going to, that's the only meetings you have.
Yeah.
Just two.
Well,
And then.
within reason, budget time, we're gonna have extra meetings and
And in the evening.
in the evenings, yes,
Both that night,
yes.
not one day and one night?
Yes.
How
With
about-
the understanding if something comes up, they
Yeah,
do
right.
know, we do have 24 hours to post for an agenda that we can have a meeting. If if something arises that a decision needs to be made.
I have a request
Sure.
to do that, we should like 7 and not 6.
Okay.
I got lots of family things and kid things and games and things like that too,
So
so.
take note of that, yeah.
For you too.
I just thought maybe we could streamline this a little better. I think if it's in the evenings, it'd be a bit more transparent for people other than retirees to show up. And no offense to retirees.
I think it's a good idea, Sean.
But I mean, when's are the basketball games, or what day nights are they?
Tuesdays,
Monday.
Fridays,
Yeah,
Monday. I mean, when I'm in junior high basketball, it's Mondays and Thursdays, but we're usually done by 6:30, so.
Yeah.
Golf is sporadic,
It
because
doesn't
there's
have to
high
be
school golf,
Tuesday,
so
it
it's
could be
sporadic when we
anytime.
have meets, but if I couldn't make one, I could make the other.
Something to talk about.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay, Adam.
Well, man,
Give us your monthly report.
I was gonna talk about rock again.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that, so.
I didn't mean to throw you into the bus.
That's okay, that's okay. I wouldn't mind coming less, the night was gonna be a little bit of, I kind of work my life around that, but
Yeah.
it is what it is, so. Things we're doing, last week with the snow and the melt off, we didn't haul much rock because it was too wet and sloppy. We did get our, final sand stockpile, built up and excuse me, pretty much done with that. Did some interviews and ended up hiring a guy for a job. Hired, Gage McElhaney, for the job. And he passed his physical and all that, and we'll start next Monday. Perry's gonna retire next Friday, so there's a little bit of no overlap, but not a big deal there. Again, this week, hauling rock and doing some, equipment, repairs, blading, things like that. I've been in some meetings with the DOT and, utility contractors, out on the G62 corridor. Trying to get them to, as the DOT project happens, to move their utilities out to the outside edges. I am beginning some conversations with a couple of properties on the north about creating an easement up there to allow us to kind of move those things outside of the right away. The plan there, we've got 66 foot of right away now. New road will probably be 40 to 42 foot wide top, so there's not a lot of room out there for drainage and all that. So I'd like to push them out if can. So working on that. Did send another letter to the property on the corner there. I guess to see if we can work on getting a agreeable price to buy that property out. We will see how that goes. Other than that, do have a follow-up meeting with the DOT this Thursday. I've been in contact with some folks in the city of Wapello to kind of work with them a bit on their project, so. I guess that's the big agenda for this past week or two, so.
Any big paving projects for this year? Summer.
Nothing this year. We have our plans for Highway 99 about done. So that'll be let out in November for next year. So, which is good, you know, Justin left the tech world to become the maintenance superintendent. So we have to train the next guy, and this will give us some time here, so. I'm gonna have a pre-con with, Iowa Bridge and Culvert next Wednesday. So figure out when they would like to begin on the K Road Bridge, so. Again, that'll probably be a 3-month or so project, so. All right, any questions from anybody going on? All right,
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Hey, got a note here on payroll changes,
The review payroll change,
review payroll changes.
right?
Did we have payroll changes?
I'm not sure if there was any or not.
I didn't see. No.
Oh, okay. We got to move then.
Thank you.
Any year,
Not a lot going on. Doing my training as always. The EMPG grant was submitted, so now we're waiting, which we're still waiting for the money to come in. But as long as the Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management at the federal level is in their debacle in DC, we're never probably going to see that yet. So that needs to be a conversation sometime of just adding that to the budget, so that way that money's there, but then still applying for the grant. Just to make, because if we don't, there'll be a $21,000 downfall in the EMA budget this year with wages if we don't get that before June 30th. So, Washington Riverboat grant's been submitted. Everything's, so we're just waiting for them, which I don't think we'll hear anything. I think the packet said May, and that's for the radios at the courthouse. So once I know something, I'll let you guys know. I had a meeting with Zach James and Gail Thomas over the hazardous mitigation. The letters of intent have been sent out to all the city mayors, superintendents, conservation, things like that for the committee. Once I get those back, then I'll get on the agendas for city council meetings to just update them and let them know the process and the timeline. So, and I think Sean, did I give you a letter of intent form? I think we talked about you being on it because you were on it last
Yeah,
time.
we talked about it.
I'll send it to you. Figure otherwise I
All
can
right.
email.
Sure.
And then I did a roundtable with Wapello School District on severe weather on March 17th. I think they enjoyed it and found it helpful. So my plan is I'm going to do another one with Morning Sun probably in April, and then got an every year rotation within the schools just in February or March. Found a couple gaps in their emergency plan, which wasn't anything that would have been detrimental to the kids or the, faculty or anything, but I think they enjoyed it and we walked away with something, so.
Do you do storm spotter class?
So that's kind of all online right now. I do have a part of that as my
I
stuff to
thought
do.
Ryan did in the past.
We used to, and now that the National Weather Service is shorthanded with people, it's hard for them to be able to get out and do classes. So a lot of that's changed to online. There was something in one of our emergency management meetings. If the National Weather Service guy said that he would send that stuff to EMAs if they want to put on the class themselves, and it's basically just reading off the slideshow.
Yeah, right.
But I know I'm going to talk to Chris up in Muscatine, and we might do a conjoined one in like Let's.
We've already seen a little bit, but we're getting into that time of year, so.
Yeah, that's kind of why I did the roundtable with Wapello, and then we'll keep doing those every year to
Okay.
make sure everybody's plans are. It is Severe Weather Awareness Week. We will not set off the sirens tomorrow for it, just because last year when I did it, I think the phone rang about 50 times. So it just creates a lot of havoc in the dispatch center when you set those alarms off when people aren't aware of it, even though we do make them aware of it. So other than that, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep.
See ya.
Next meeting, date for public hearing for proposed
26-25-7 budget for April 14th at 8:45 AM.
I'll make that motion.
No seconds.
Motion second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we need a approval for the proposed budget publication.
We'll make a motion to, approve the proposed 26-27 budget for publication.
No second.
Motion second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Discussion and action to set public hearing on zoning ordinance 110.4. Number of uses on a lot. This is concerning the state's new accessory dwelling.
This is gonna be a mess, I think.
Sorry, starting big.
I don't know how we control this. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a motion to set the public hearing for April 14th at 9 AM. I would like people to show up and talk about this. I'm not against it, I'm just saying, I don't know how we're gonna regulate this.
No second time.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? My discussion will be that we're kind of hands tied. When the state's passed it, there's not.
Pretty much, it's just what I was gonna use for the setbacks and put the wording into the zoning ordinance, so we have it into the ordinance.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing now.
Right.
The setbacks are gonna be pretty much the same as a dwelling,
Right.
except for the distance between an existing dwelling and an accessory dwelling. That's the only difference there would be. Other than that, front yard, side yards, and everything else is gonna be the same. Naturally new septic, naturally do everything, I mean. It's gonna. I've gotten 2 that I've permitted so far. I've heard about some that said that, well, the state passed it, so I'm doing it anyway. Well, then when now that they're applying for a septic permit. They're finding out that there's still a permit for an accessory dwelling, and now they don't.
So this,
So they're not knowing exactly on their feet, you know. According to the state regulations and what we're gonna go off of is it's half of the existing accessory. So if your existing home is 1,400 square foot, your accessory dwelling can only be 700.
Up to 1,000, right?
Nope, only at 700. Now, if your accessory dwelling is 2,000 square feet and above, your accessory dwelling can be 1,000. It's half of the original, but not to exceed 1,000,
Right.
depending on the size of the home. And
I
a
think,
mobile home, if you decide to use a mobile home, it's gotta be converted to real estate.
mobile homes are allowed.
Mobile homes are allowed if they're converted to real estate.
Same would be with a RV or anything like that, if they convert it. Can you convert an RV?
Those you get ripped wheels and axles, I gotta put an exterior of it, I don't know, I wouldn't, but.
Is there any language on what this accessory dwelling is used for?
No. Where it used to be that we would allow, it was written in our, it's written in our ordinance that we allow it for a medical condition for your mother, father, in-laws, brothers, whatever, as long as there's a medical reason, they could have one, but 6 months after something had happened, whether they moved into a nursing home or whatever, moved to a different place, whatever the cause may be, they had 6 months to remove it. So it's not that we didn't ever permit an accessory dwelling, it's just it had to be removed. Well, now it doesn't.
Well, the news is promoting that this new thing is, oh, now you can do added income, you can put a rental property behind your house. That's how the news is portraying it.
Exactly.
And
So now, the
That's
way it's
what I-
written though, is that it's the homeowner that has to do it. It can't be, the ground cannot be split, it's gotta be on the same parcel, homeowner owns it. Whether the brother wants to come in, cause I've had this question come in and say, well, he wants to buy his house and put it right here on my lot. Nope, the house is yours. No matter what, the house is yours, it's permitted into your name. It's all one deal. When it sells, it's one deal. You can't split it then. Expect me to split it. I'm not gonna split it. That's the way it is.
But that doesn't stop them from renting it.
This is good and bad all rolled up into one, potentially. Okay, no? We got
Okay, well, we've
motions.
had a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we have discussion and possible action to approve an invoice for historical preservation to pay for the downtown Waffle and Columbus Junction survey.
Okay, good morning, I'm
Morning.
Kathy Jolly
Morning.
Vance, I happen to be the chair of the Historic Preservation Commission. I have a little handout for you, unless, Susan, did you send them the email that I sent you that showed the breakdown? Do you want to have it anyway?
Sure.
Okay,
You went to all the trouble of printing it off.
oh, well, I can hand them out to the crowd, you want one of these too, it's really sort of a breakdown, but. This is not interesting, but I'm gonna give you one, because you are, anybody else? I happen to have a few extra copies. Randy, one.
Absolutely, we'll look at.
All right, so this is a historic preservation grant that I applied for a year ago to do site inventories for the downtown areas of Wapello and Columbus Junction to see if there were enough extant buildings, meaning existing structures, to warrant doing an application for a National Register district in those downtowns, right? That grant was applied for last year. We received it. The site inventories have been completed. They're in the process of being reviewed at the state level. Our commission has reviewed them. There are some issues with them, so the state sent them back to the researchers for a little more work. But they have completed enough to be paid 70%. So here's the deal. What we need to pay is $14,656, 70% as agreed to in the contract for partial completion. Total project budget is $20,938. You, the supervisors, don't pay anything. You're not paying anything. This is confusing, right? This is one of those things where you pay and I bill to get it reimbursed, right? I already have match from the city of Wapello and the city of Columbus Junction at $3,500 apiece. Did that a long time ago when we applied for the grant. I've matched from the state of $11,938 and did that a long time ago when we applied for the grant. And we have $2,000 that comes from our line item budget, which is in our budget. We already have that. So, but you're paying money up front that you don't have the money. So I'm assuming you need to approve my payment of the bill. Just the 70%, $14,656.60, which triggers me to bill all the rest of those people. But also probably triggers perhaps an amendment. I don't know if that's enough that you have to amend your budget, because although you've approved this grant, it's a reimbursement funky thing,
Money
so,
in, money out. It'll have to be an amendment,
yeah.
but. it's
So
not-
I don't know how many parts you have to do in all of that today. I need the check approved. But I'm assuming you need a budget amendment to go along with that. So I hope, I try to be clear about that and write this out that way. Does that make sense? Do you understand what's happening?
Yes.
There's nothing new from the supervisor budget. You will get, oh, I'm sorry, wow, let me break the TV. You'll get all the money back. We do this all the time. This is how historic preservation stuff works. They don't give us the grant money up front. I have to show them invoices that my contractor's been paid and then they reimburse. That's the way it works.
Basically, I just need a motion from you to allow me to pay the bill for them. Yes, I'll do the amendment. So when we do the amendments, it'll be included in there, but just gives me pre-approval to do that. But this check will not be cut until the first, claims period in April.
and that's fine.
Just a week or so.
That's fine.
It's like April,
I mean, I don't
2
care
weeks.
about that.
April 7th, so.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve $14,656.60 payment for the invoice for historic preservation.
I'll second that.
Motion second for discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay,
Thank you.
that's all I
Thank
have.
you.
Thanks.
We'll get a copy of that report, right?
Yeah, you want it all?
How much is it? I mean,
Like 128 pages.
no kidding.
Because there's pictures of every single one.
It'd be fun to go through it.
You know what,
For me.
I can email it,
Double-sided?
don't print it, I'll email
Yeah,
it.
no, that'd be good.
And then,
Yeah,
it's not complete, I could send you do you want me to send you now what I have and then
No, just when it's
when we get a
completed.
complete report, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, discussion and possible action authorizing the chair to sign a letter of support for proposed sedimentation basin and drainage district 13.
They sent me an email, I'm assuming because I was chair back in the day. They're doing some work on a drainage district on the southern point of Muscatine County. I think it sort of kind of flows over to us, kind of. It's going to benefit us. But I told them they need to bring it in front of the board, and Adam's looked at it. Susan sent it to Adam. He's okay with it, and it's just a letter of support for their project, so. I'd make a motion to approve the chair to sign the letter of support.
No second.
Motion second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Susan, will you make sure that gets emailed to that particular person? Thank you.
And Brian will sign this letter.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I believe we have Aaron Jones.
Yeah, she's on Zoom. I
Okay.
gotta unmute her. But-
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, so I am Erin Jones. I am currently the Community Partnerships for Protecting Children Coordinator, or CPPC is what we call it, because that's a really long program name. I serve Henry, Lee, Louisa, and Des Moines counties in a part-time capacity right now and have for several years. But I am here this morning to present the Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. April is National Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month, and you guys have signed that for us for many years. And so I want to thank you for allowing us to bring that to you today.
You have the proclamation,
Yes.
Chair?
You want me to read it all?
I saw that page.
Yeah.
If you want to, you don't have to. But I'd make a motion for you to sign the proclamation.
All three of you.
All three of us sign it.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Done.
We did it.
I really appreciate it. I do want to say, acknowledge you guys have some, sometimes, we don't get to hear all the positive stuff. There's some really great things and agencies in Louisa County doing a lot of work that lead to, stronger, healthier, safer families and children. There's some really great partners I've had in the past at Louisa County, your home visiting program, partners at LSI and ECI, great programming and some really great staff, and they're doing some great work. Home visiting is a really big prevention mechanism, so that's fantastic to have in the county. Cindy Mears and all the work that she's doing. There's some great faith-based organizations, and public libraries are really great partners for me in the past. Your health department, they had a really cool event last year. So that was the back to school kind of fair event, and that was really exciting to see. They've been great partners, and the community action and extension, of course. So those are just some of that are that I've partnered with, and I see regularly doing like a lot of hard and great work in your county. So I just want to acknowledge that and let you know, because sometimes it's good to hear some positive things out of that. There, I will send some stuff to Susan or Selena, and thank you for helping set this up, ladies. But to pass on to you, just so you have it. We do have some child abuse prevention months that go on as kind of a quad county region for this year. There's a Day of a Child event. It's this Saturday at the Burlington Mall. Partners with Community Action. That's open to all families in all of our area at no cost. There are resources there that families can connect to, as well as activities for kids, and a free family concert that ECI partners with. I'm in a committee with them to fund that family concert. So again, if people can get down there Saturday 10 to 2, it's kind of open. The concert's at 10, but April 10th is Wear Blue Day. That's just showing support. It's the color for child abuse prevention. If you ever see the blue pinwheels, that's our symbol. And there is an early childhood conference at the end of April that it's free and open to anybody. Of course, they have to get to Fairfield. It's 3 or 4 different larger areas put together, but you can go and attend and learn about a variety of things. It used to be focused just on childcare providers, but this year we've opened it to anybody who wants to learn more about child abuse prevention and early childhood. Anybody's working or has does anything that affects young children, which is almost all people. So there's that opportunity at the end of April, and there's also an opportunity for those that are expecting or have a newborn for a community baby shower. Also held in Burlington because it serves the 4 counties, but it's open to Louisa County residents as well at the end of April. So I'll send all that information to be shared out with you in case you have anything you want to see or ask questions about or pass on. So
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
yep, I appreciate it.
Take a moment and thank you for what you do. We appreciate that. I wish in this world we didn't need programs or people like you, but unfortunately we do. So thank you.
Yep, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Sure.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.